So that's just competitive energy.
Competitiveness.
All right, so you and Diddy, you and Puff cool?
No, I don't really rock with him.
Okay,
like that.
damn, all right. I didn't know what that meant.
I think that they don't want, if they was in any of those freak off tapes, if they played a part in any of those Diddy sessions, they don't want it to get out to the general public to make up their...
Wait, make sure you really heard what he said. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, stepped out and claimed the Netflix documentary barely scratched the surface. According to him, the footage people saw was the cleaned-up version, while the real explosive material never made it onto the screen. He is not talking about some random behind-the-scenes clips, a couple deleted moments, or interviews that got cut for time. Gene Deal says there are reportedly over 130 hours of unseen footage now allegedly connected to 50 Cent, and he claims some of those clips supposedly show Beyoncé and Jay-Z in situations that could seriously shake up the polished public image they worked years to build. Gene Deal believes the Netflix release was carefully controlled from the start. In his eyes, the real controversy has not even started yet. What made people really stop and pay attention was hearing that 50 Cent has hinted about possibly putting everything on YouTube, where things could spread fast and become way harder to contain once the public gets hold of it.
Scared of him. I think they more so, they don't want him to embarrass their reputation and things that they've been known for. You understand?
And the reason so many people are locked in on what Gene Deal is saying is simple. He is not some random person online chasing attention or throwing out wild gossip for clicks. This is someone who was actually around Diddy for years and claims he saw a lot happen behind closed doors. He was not just some outsider looking in. Gene Deal was Diddy's bodyguard, which means he was around the rooms, the conversations, the late-night meetings, and the people nobody else got access to. And one thing he keeps repeating is that cameras were supposedly rolling all the time. Private talks, phone calls, backstage moments, and conversations people probably believed would never leave the room. According to Deal, those recordings were never just about saving memories or making content for later. In his view, the recordings were also about power and control. He has brought this up again and again during interviews, and every time the message stays the same. The Netflix documentary only showed a tiny slice of a much bigger situation. That is why so many people online think there is way more happening behind the scenes than viewers were allowed to see.
I mean, why waste my time?
And sometimes you respond to something that brings way more attention to it, too.
That too, and it's just, it goes into another space, and then you just like, oh, y'all not listening to me.
Right. But then you'll have somebody that'll say to you.
And the numbers alone have people raising eyebrows. Reports claim Diddy allegedly recorded more than 140 hours of footage tied to his own activities before his September 2024 arrest. Meanwhile, the Netflix documentary only lasted 4 episodes, with each episode running close to an hour. When people started doing the math, they realized there could still be around 130 unseen hours nobody from the public has watched yet. According to 50 Cent, he reportedly got access to that material after paying the videographer for it. And if even part of those claims are true, a lot of powerful people could be nervous about what might eventually come out. Netflix had lawyers checking everything. Netflix had editors reviewing every scene, every sentence, and every second before anything went public. The platform had control over what stayed in and what got cut out.
Don't trust nobody. In Hollywood, specifically, when you get there, a lot of people don't know how to say no. That's the difference between New York City and California.
But YouTube is a whole different game completely. In theory, 50 Cent could suddenly upload footage at 3 a.m. with zero warning, no big rollout, no TV executives involved, and no major legal team carefully polishing the final product.
A lot of people, 50, I feel like he don't have to say nothing, but 50's crazy. He's been like this his whole life. When he's on the block, 50's coming.
Just raw clips hitting the internet out of nowhere and spreading fast before anyone can react. According to Gene Deal, some of that unseen footage allegedly includes major celebrity names people would recognize instantly, especially Beyoncé and Jay-Z. And he is not talking about blurry background appearances or weak internet theories people need to piece together themselves. Deal has openly hinted that their public image could supposedly take a serious hit if certain footage ever becomes public. And when people look at everything Beyoncé and Jay-Z have built over the years, it is easy to understand why those claims exploded online so quickly. We are talking about decades of carefully managed branding, Rock Nation, Parkwood Entertainment, billion-dollar business moves, and a power couple image that has survived scandals, lawsuits, non-stop headlines, and intense public attention for years.
Sometimes you receive more with not doing well than you receive. Excellent pitch.
Yeah, we wouldn't even bring it up.
Now, a former Diddy bodyguard is claiming there could allegedly be footage powerful enough to put all of that massive celebrity branding under serious pressure. And according to those claims, that material is supposedly connected to someone who has already shown he is willing to stir up controversy online without hesitation. People point to 50 Cent because he already gave the public a preview of how far he might take things when he helped produce the documentary.
I just want the truth, and it's so hard to get it from the courts. And it seems like Jay-Z don't want to say anything. So, I don't want to see him go down for something that, you could have just got taken care of. That's it.
He also sparked backlash after posting a meme with Jay-Z's face edited onto the Predator character. The caption referenced a lyric from Jay-Z's 2006 song, "Got a Young Girl, Still Not Quite 21. A lot of people online did not see it as some harmless joke or random trolling moment. To many viewers, it felt intentional and aimed directly at Jay-Z, especially since 50 Cent keeps hinting there may still be unreleased footage sitting in the background waiting to surface. Then things got even more intense when somebody asked him about the remaining footage. According to reports, 50 Cent responded by saying that if the public saw everything, there would supposedly be no more debate around the narrative. He allegedly described it as clear-cut. That response instantly made people even more curious about what could actually be hidden inside those reported 130 unseen hours. Right now, nobody outside of 50 Cent's circle truly knows what is real, exaggerated, or still being kept private. But there is already one moment the public knows about because it actually appeared in the documentary itself. In one scene, Diddy is heard on speakerphone talking with his attorney. During that call, the attorney says, and this is the direct quote, "We need the core theme to be, 'You did not do anything wrong.'" That line immediately caught people's attention once it aired publicly, especially because many viewers started wondering whether the lawyer even knew the conversation was being recorded in the first place. By itself, that moment already raised major questions about privacy, trust, and what was happening behind closed doors between clients and legal teams. And once people started thinking bigger, the situation became even more intense. If one private call like that made it into the documentary, then what else could allegedly exist inside more than 130 unseen hours of footage? Who else may have appeared in those recordings? And how many people believed those conversations were staying private at the time? Then, the pressure around the entire situation reportedly grew even more because of legal developments happening nearby. In October 2024, a Jane Doe filed a lawsuit accusing Diddy of misconduct. Later, in December, reports stated the complaint was amended to also include Jay-Z, adding another huge layer of public attention to an already explosive situation. The lawsuit alleged that both men assaulted her in 2000 when she was 13 years old. Jay-Z quickly denied the accusations and publicly called the lawsuit a blackmail attempt. He refused to settle the case and instead fired back legally by filing countersuits for defamation and malicious prosecution. Then, in February 2025, the Jane Doe voluntarily dismissed the case with prejudice, meaning the claims cannot be filed again in court. From a legal standpoint, that was seen as a huge win for Jay-Z. But despite that outcome, one detail still keeps people online talking and debating nonstop. Some critics and commentators continue asking the same question. If Jay-Z believes the unreleased Diddy footage could completely support his side of the story, then why has there not been a public push demanding every second of it be released? People notice that while his legal team has reportedly been extremely aggressive inside the courtroom, things have looked very different when it comes to the unseen footage itself. Jay-Z has denied wrongdoing, challenged accusations legally, and fought back hard through the courts. But publicly, there has not been a major campaign demanding all the alleged recordings be put online for everyone to see. That silence is what keeps fueling speculation online. No huge press conference calling for total transparency, no public challenge aimed directly at 50 Cent, and no visible legal effort specifically focused on forcing every piece of the rumored footage into the open. That silence is a huge reason why so many people are still locked into this story every single day. The situation became even more intense once Gene Deal started pushing the conversation into much darker territory. He claimed the documentary allegedly left out major incidents connected to Diddy, and he was not speaking in vague hints or internet-style riddles. Deal actually mentioned specific names, including Anthony Wolf Jones, which immediately grabbed people's attention online. At one point, Deal stated, and this is the direct quote, "It was not only big, it was not only shocker." That statement instantly raised eyebrows because many viewers took it as him suggesting the documentary avoided deeper conversations about people who may have been affected within Diddy's circle over the years. According to Deal, the environment surrounding Diddy allegedly came with serious personal consequences for some individuals connected to that world. Now, this is where the wording matters a lot. There is currently no independently verified evidence publicly confirming those claims outside of Gene Deal's own statements and interviews. But what keeps people paying attention is the fact that these allegations are coming from someone who reportedly spent years around those situations firsthand. On top of that, some viewers believe Netflix may have intentionally stayed away from exploring that side of the story in greater detail. Then people started looking at the timing of everything else happening around this story, and that only pushed the online discussion even further. In January 2026, the Department of Justice released millions of pages tied to Epstein-related documents, instantly sending social media into chaos as people searched through every name and detail they could find. Reports claimed Rihanna's name appeared in a 2018 phone log. Jay-Z's name was also reportedly mentioned in a 2019 FBI crisis intake report connected to an anonymous caller who alleged he was present during a Harvey Weinstein assault situation. But it is extremely important to point out that the DOJ specifically warned the public that many claims, tips, and references inside those files could be false, unverified, or completely fabricated. Even with those warnings, the internet still exploded once famous celebrity names started appearing in documents connected to Epstein. That alone was enough to trigger nonstop speculation, debates, and viral discussions online. Then the situation became even more shocking after reports surfaced that on March 8, 2026, a woman named Ivana Ortiz allegedly drove to Rihanna's home and opened fire with an assault rifle, while Rihanna, A$AP Rocky, and their 3 children were reportedly inside at the time. Thankfully, nobody was injured during the incident. Ortiz has since reportedly been charged with assault, although investigators have not publicly confirmed a clear motive yet. The situation was already frightening on its own, but almost immediately afterward, conspiracy theories started spreading all over social media at lightning speed. Online posts quickly became flooded with unverified claims trying to connect Jay-Z to the shooting because both his name and Rihanna's name had previously appeared in Epstein-related document discussions. However, law enforcement has not announced any evidence linking Jay-Z to the incident at all. Reports instead suggested the suspect may have allegedly shown an unhealthy fixation on Rihanna herself, including disturbing social media activity reportedly directed toward her before the shooting happened. But the speed and intensity of those online theories showed just how emotionally charged and chaotic this entire situation has become. The moment people saw a shooting connected to someone close to Jay-Z, only weeks after celebrity names appeared in Epstein-related files, the internet instantly exploded with speculation, rumors, and non-stop questions that powerful public figures would never want attached to their names online. That does not mean those theories are true or supported by evidence. It simply shows the tense atmosphere surrounding this story right now and how quickly public suspicion can spiral once major celebrity names become tied to controversial headlines. And right now, the atmosphere around this entire situation feels incredibly tense and unpredictable. Based on his own public statements, 50 Cent reportedly still has access to the footage. He keeps dropping hints, keeps posting online, and keeps fueling curiosity without fully revealing what may or may not exist behind the scenes. Unlike Netflix, there is no major network standing over him carefully deciding what gets approved and what stays hidden from the public. At this point, the biggest question is no longer whether the footage allegedly exists. People are now focused on when it could possibly surface and what might actually be inside those recordings if they ever become public. Gene Deal has already warned viewers that the documentary only showed a small fraction of the bigger picture, which is why the reported 130 unseen hours continue creating so much discussion online. For now, those recordings are still surrounded by mystery, speculation, and non-stop rumors. And until something officially surfaces, the people allegedly connected to the material, along with millions watching online, are all waiting to see what happens next. Before going any further, there is one moment people keep bringing back up online, and a lot of viewers feel it hits very differently now than it did years ago. It was 2005. Rihanna was only 16 years old, sitting across from Tyra Banks during an interview, laughing nervously while talking about how Jay-Z signed her to Def Jam. During that conversation, she explained that he kept her at the office until around 3 o'clock in the morning. Then Tyra brought up the famous window story, and Rihanna repeated what Jay-Z allegedly told her at the time. According to the story, there were supposedly only 2 ways for her to leave the building: either walk out the door with the contract signed or leave through the window on the 29th floor. Back then, audiences mostly laughed it off like it was just another wild music industry story. People treated it like harmless entertainment and an example of how intense record deals could get behind the scenes. But years later, with so much public scrutiny now surrounding major celebrities, many online viewers say the clip feels far more uncomfortable when they watch it today. Instead of sounding playful, some people now interpret it as pressure-wrapped inside humor, especially because the interview footage keeps resurfacing whenever conversations around Jay-Z become controversial again. Then people dug up another interview from that same era. In an early 2000s conversation with Sway, Jay-Z basically confirmed the story himself and spoke about it openly. He admitted Rihanna stayed at the office until the contract was signed around 3 a.m. At the time, fans and industry insiders viewed the story as classic music business folklore, the type of aggressive power move executives bragged about when talking about discovering the next huge superstar. But looking back now, a lot of people online say that level of control over a 16-year-old does not sound nearly as charming or impressive as it may have sounded back then. Over the years, Rihanna has publicly described Jay-Z as a mentor figure. She later left Def Jam and joined Roc Nation, and she has defended him publicly more than once. But despite that loyalty, those old interview clips never disappeared from the internet, and every time new allegations or controversies appear, people immediately start reposting them again. For many viewers, loyalty does not automatically erase the uncomfortable questions they now connect to those moments from the past. And once the internet starts revisiting old celebrity stories, things usually spiral even further. Then people started looking back at another tragic event from years earlier. In 2001, Aaliyah was killed in a plane crash in the Bahamas when she was only 22 years old. The official details surrounding that crash have long been viewed as deeply disturbing. Reports stated the pilot allegedly had substances in his system, was not properly certified to fly that specific aircraft, had reportedly only been hired days earlier, and investigators claimed the plane itself was overloaded by nearly 700 pounds. Those are the documented details that fueled years of public discussion and speculation online. But afterward, conspiracy theories spread everywhere across the internet. One of the most persistent theories claimed the so-called Illuminati orchestrated Aaliyah's death to clear the path for Beyoncé's rise to superstardom. Jay-Z and Damon Dash also became attached to those rumors, even though no evidence has ever publicly confirmed those conspiracy claims. There is absolutely no verified evidence supporting those conspiracy claims at all. None. Most of those theories were built from internet speculation, numerology, rumors, and people trying to connect random details together over the years. Some even pushed bizarre backward music playback theories. None of that has ever been proven factual, and it is important not to treat online conspiracies like confirmed reality. The reason those rumors matter in this conversation is because they have been floating around online for nearly 25 years already. And now, with claims about unreleased footage supposedly connected to Beyoncé and Jay-Z, those old conspiracy theories are suddenly getting dragged back into public discussions once again. Not because they were somehow proven true overnight, because they were not, but because the same famous names keep appearing in online speculation and celebrity rumor cycles. For some people online, the repeated appearance of those powerful celebrity circles creates an atmosphere where every new headline instantly becomes connected to older rumors, even when there is no actual evidence tying them together. That alone can make public suspicion grow fast, especially when major celebrities stay silent or avoid directly addressing every rumor spreading online. And once the internet reaches that point, separating verified facts from pure speculation becomes way more difficult. That is when rumors, theories, and real events all start blending together inside the public conversation. Now look at how that tense atmosphere clashes with something much more real and publicly documented. There is a February 2018 interview clip where Ellen DeGeneres is joking with Diddy about attending one of her parties. During the exchange, she laughs and says, "Once you get there, the party really starts." Diddy smiles, nods, and promises he will not disappoint her. Back then, the moment aired on daytime television like harmless celebrity banter. The audience laughed, nobody thought twice about it, and it was treated as just another funny Hollywood exchange between famous people. But years later, after the federal case against Diddy became public, many viewers started revisiting those old clips with a completely different perspective. The unsealed indictment introduced allegations and descriptions of events that suddenly made some of those past jokes feel much more uncomfortable in hindsight. To be completely clear, Ellen DeGeneres was not accused of wrongdoing, and neither were the celebrities who attended Diddy's famous white parties. But the clip now stands out because it shows how normal, glamorous, and publicly accepted that party culture appeared from the outside before serious accusations later changed the public conversation around it. Beyoncé and Jay-Z were publicly seen at Diddy's famous white parties over the years. Photos from those events were everywhere, and both of them also worked professionally with Diddy multiple times throughout their careers. Beyoncé even collaborated with him on the 2003 track Summertime. At the time, none of that was viewed as unusual or suspicious inside the entertainment industry, and none of it has been presented as illegal activity. But when public controversy grows, even normal celebrity connections can suddenly become heavily scrutinized online. Right now, people are revisiting old photos, past interviews, business relationships, and resurfaced clips searching for anything that feels awkward, questionable, or controversial in hindsight. That is part of why the rumored 130 unseen hours of footage keep creating so much tension around this story. The footage would not necessarily need to show criminal behavior to damage somebody's reputation. Sometimes a single uncomfortable clip, private moment, or embarrassing conversation can be enough to crack a carefully managed public image that took decades to build. And on top of all that, there is another legal controversy that has followed Jay-Z's name for years, but rarely gets discussed in mainstream headlines. A man named Rymir Satterthwaite has spent more than a decade publicly claiming that Jay-Z is his biological father, adding yet another layer of speculation and legal drama to the conversation online. The courts ultimately dismissed the case, and later, his godmother filed a separate lawsuit that was also dismissed with prejudice. A judge even awarded Jay-Z more than $119,000 in attorney fees, making it a very strong legal win for him on paper. From a courtroom perspective, the matter appeared settled. But despite those rulings, the story keeps resurfacing online again and again. People started asking even more questions after Satterthwaite recently posted on social media thanking Nicki Minaj and President Donald Trump for allegedly helping him. Legally, the situation may be finished, but publicly, the internet keeps giving the story new attention every few months. And every time it comes back, the same question follows right behind it. Why does this topic refuse to disappear completely? That is how stories like this tend to work online. They rarely vanish forever. The Aaliyah conspiracy theories, the old Rihanna signing interview, the Ellen DeGeneres party joke, and the paternity claims all keep circling back into public discussion over time. Individually, each situation can usually be explained away pretty easily. One looks like a joke taken out of context. Another is a conspiracy theory with no verified evidence. Another involves a lawsuit that got dismissed. And another is simply an old TV clip people started reanalyzing years later. But when all of them get stacked together at the same time, the public conversation becomes much louder and far more chaotic. And then there is the statement that really kept people talking online. A man openly hinted that if the public ever saw the rest of the footage, there would supposedly be no more debate. That single comment alone pushed the speculation to another level and left people wondering what could actually exist behind the scenes. So where does everything stand now? Old interview clips keep resurfacing across social media. Conspiracy theories refuse to disappear. Legal controversies continue getting brought back into public discussion. The shooting incident at Rihanna's home still leaves many unanswered questions for people following the story online. The Epstein-related documents are also still circulating online, with both Jay-Z's and Rihanna's names reportedly appearing inside certain records, even though officials warned many references and tips in those files could be unverified or false. And through all of this chaos, one major question keeps getting repeated by critics and commentators. If the unseen footage could supposedly help defend his reputation, then why has Jay-Z never publicly pushed for 50 Cent to release all of it? Jay-Z has publicly denied accusations, challenged claims in court, and aggressively fought lawsuits tied to his name. But when it comes to the rumored unseen footage and whatever it may or may not contain, people have noticed there has been very little public discussion from his side. No major public demand, no aggressive campaign for full disclosure, and no highly visible legal moves specifically aimed at forcing the footage into the open. The documentary was called The Reckoning. But for a lot of people watching this story unfold, a real reckoning would mean the full truth gets exposed publicly with nothing left hidden behind editing, legal reviews, or carefully controlled releases. Instead, what viewers received was a polished Netflix production reviewed by lawyers and executives, while Gene Deal continues claiming the most damaging material and the biggest names were allegedly left out completely. According to that perspective, the real controversy may still be sitting untouched on a hard drive somewhere, waiting to either surface one day or disappear forever. And until people finally know what is actually inside those rumored unseen hours, the internet will keep filling in the blanks with old interviews, conspiracy theories, resurfaced clips, strange coincidences, and non-stop speculation surrounding everyone connected to the story. So what do you think is really on those tapes? Do you believe the footage will ever become public? Or will it stay hidden while the rumors keep growing bigger online? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because people are seriously divided on this one. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share this with somebody following the story, and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next update. This situation is still developing and the conversation is far from over.